الميمم أرضي أقر من بعض السلام لبعضي. أيها الراكب الميمم أرضي أقر من بعض السلام لبعضي. إن جسمي كما علمت بأرض وفؤادي ومالكيه بأرضي. إن جسمي كما علمت بأرضي وفؤادي ومالكيه بأرضي. قدر البين بيننا فافترقنا.
Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So, continuing, um, today we decided to mention some of the books of the scholars that lived before us. Inshallah, we will begin from the books of Imam Ibn al-Jawzi, rahimahullah ta'ala, one of the great scholars of his time, who lived in Baghdad in the Hijri of 500 of the Hijriya. He has plenty books. Okay, they even say in his biography that he wrote more than like 200,000 books. We didn't get the opportunity to get all of those books. Some of them are in manuscripts. Some of them are burnt or thrown in the Euphrates. We don't know. But they say that he wrote so much books in his whole life. They say Imam al-Dhahabi says that in his whole entire life, he was just writing books. He didn't even waste a single moment of time. A single one. He didn't even get to even review his books. He just started to write his books, and just put it aside and continue. Could he just continue writing whatever he heard, whatever he learned, and he was just writing and putting in all what he had in his head and all the things that he had in him. He took all of those and he put it in his book, in his books. All the things that he implemented and learned from the scholars at that time, he took it out from his head and put it inside those books. And he didn't even get time to review those books. Why did he not get time to review them? Imam al-Dhahabi says that if that was the case that he would review all of his books, then that would take him another life to live. He needs to have another portion of life to live. He can't really, review of them. It's so much knowledge in those books, of what he has has recorded inside his books. He is really a really great scholar, an important figure in the history of Islam. Inshallah, we will see some of his books in this lesson, or in this video, inshallah, and we will show it and give you a glimpse of how much books he wrote. From the books that we first of all we would start is called آداب الحسن البصري وزهده ومواعظه. This book is talking about the manners of Al-Hasan al-Basri, Tabi'i al-Jalil, and his aestheticism and his lectures and many more. This is a good book. It's also translated in English, called The Beacon of Basra, which is Al-Hasan al-Basri. This is written by also Imam al-Jawzi with تحقيق سليمان al-Harsha. Okay, the best tahqiq is this tahqiq in Dar al-Nawadir. Okay. So yeah, this is what you get. This is the book from the books that was found in the manuscripts of Baghdad, as they have found in. This book is talking about the whole history of Imam al-Hasan al-Hasan al-Basri. His name is Al-Hasan ibn Abi al-Hasan al-Basri. This is his book, okay, that he has compiled of what he heard from the scholars of that time. Okay, so this is his book, which is called Adab al-Hasan al-Basri, which is giving you a glimpse about the history of Imam Hasan al-Basri. Okay, and all of his, his aestheticism, his wara', his zuhud, his mawa'idh, his, name it. It is filled up with it. Okay, filled up with it. Inshallah, after this, we will, after we mention some of his books, we will first of all mention his biography, Imam al-Jawzi, his biography, and then we will continue with his books. Okay. I just first wanted to begin with his books, some of his books, and then we immediately go to his tarjama, or his biography. He is Imam al-Jawzi. He is al-Imam al-Allama al-Hafiz al-Mufassir عالم العراق وواعظ الآفاق جمال الدين أبو الفرج بن عبد الرحمن بن علي بن محمد بن علي بن عبيد الله بن عبد الله بن حمادي بن أحمد بن محمد بن جعفر بن عبد الله بن القاسم ابن النضر ابن القاسم ابن محمد بن عبد الله ابن الفقيه عبد الرحمن ابن الفقيه القاسم ابن محمد ابن خليفة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أبي بكر الصديق القرشي التيمي البكري الحنبلي. Imam al-Jawzi, he is a descendant of the Khalifa Abu Bakr al-Siddiq radiyallahu an, and he is صاحب التصانيف العديدة في فنون العلم. He is the author of many books in many fields of knowledge. He was born in the year 510, some say 509. They have some difference of opinion about when was he born. عرف جده بالجوزي. His grandpa was known as al-Jawzi. Okay, al-Jawzi meaning walnuts, لجوزة كان في دارهم بواسط لم يكن بواسط جوزة سواها. He said that these walnuts were only found in the place where he was living in Wasit. Okay, and in this place Wasit of his place, this is the place only. This place only was walnuts were found, nowhere else. Only in this particular place. That's why he was called Al-Jawzi. توفي أبوه وله 3 أعوام فربته عمته. His father died when he was 3 years of age. Okay, and his paternal aunt took care of him. وكان أول سماعه سنة 16. وسمع بعدها من خلق كثير عادتهم 87 نفسا. The first time he heard and listened to hadith and Quran and all this was the time when he was 16 years old. سنة 16. Okay, He heard from many scholars and many people. They say some were 87 people he heard from. وانتفع في الحديث, he learned hadith from بملازمة ابن ناصر. Okay, he was sitting with Ibn Nasir in Quran al-Adab. He learned from Sibt al-Khayyat and Ibn al-Jawariqi. So he, in certain subjects and fields, he learned these sciences from. وكان بحرا في التفسير. He was like an ocean in tafsir. He knew everything in tafsir. He was really expert. They used to call him علامة في التفسير. And he's also called علامة في السير والتاريخ. He is a scholar in siyar, which is biographies, and تاريخ, history. موصوفا بحسن الحديث. He's also, they give him a title as a person of hadith. Okay, حسن الحديث. فقيها, he was a jurist. عالما, scholar. بالإجماع والاختلاف. In الإجماع and اختلاف, both. He is a scholar. وكان ذا حظ عظيم وصية بعيد في الوعظ قد طاوعته اللغة والبيان يحضر مجلسه الملوك والوزراء وبعض الخلفاء والأئمة الكبار كبار لا يكاد مجلسه ينقص عن ألوف كثيرة. He would, in his majlis, people from in his majlis, kings, khalifas, wazirs, okay, a'imma, scholars, great big scholars, they would attend his lectures. لا يكاد مجلسه ينقص عن ألوف كثيرة. In his, just one of his majlis, one of his sittings, just one of his lectures and sittings, people would not increase than 1,000 of them. Meaning 1,000 of human beings would attend his lectures and he listened from him. قال سبطه لأبو المظفر في مرآة الزمان. His sibt, which is his grandson, from his daughter's side. Okay, his name is Abu al-Muzaffar. He is the author of مرآة الزمان. He said in this book مرآة الزمان, he said سمعت جدي على المنبر يقول, he said, I heard my grandfather say in the minbar, بأصبعي هاتين كتبت 1000 مجلدة وتابع على يدي 100,000 وأسلم على يدي 20,000 وكان يختم في الأسبوع. He said, I heard my grandfather say in the minbar, with these two hands of mine, meaning these two fingers of mine, I authored 1000 مجلدة, meaning 1,000 books. وتابع على يدي 100,000. And people repented in front of me. In front of me, 1,000, 100,000, 100,000. Okay, 100,000. وأسلم على يدي 20,000. And people convert to Islam in front of me, 20,000, 20,000. وكان يختم في الأسبوع. He would always finish the Quran in every أسبوع, meaning every week he would complete the Quran. ثم قال, he said, ومجموع تصانيفه 252 كتابا. From his books, has so much books, but he said 252 كتابا. Okay, he has 500,000 books. He said منها, from them is المغني في علوم القرآن. Okay, المغني في علوم القرآن is a summarized book of his book زاد المسير. Okay, and he has called تذكرة الأريب in the language. Okay, in the language of Arabic language. التيسير في التفسير, فنون الأفنان في علوم القرآن. So these are books on tafsir and Quran. ورد الأغصان في معاني القرآن. Okay. Also on the Quran, النبغة في القراءات السبعة, on the 7 قراءات. الإشارة في القراءات المختارة. Again another book on قراءات. تذكرة المنتبه في عيون المشتبه. This is talking about المتشابهات. الفوائد المنتاقة. سلوة الأحزان. النقاب في الألقاب. آفات المحدثين. البدائع الدالة على وجود الصانع. مسبوك الذهب في الفقه. البلغة في الفقه. التلخيص في الفقه. لقطة العجلان. حال الحلاج. عطف الأمراء على العلماء. إعلام الأحياء بأغلاظ الإحياء. الحث على العلم. لفتة الكبد. الوجوه والنظائر. جامع المسانيد. تلبيس إبليس. صيد الخاطر. التحقيق بمسائل الخلاف. الأذكياء. منهاج